In this section, we're going to learn how to find the surface area of some three-dimensional shapes, of which are rectangular solids, spheres, and right circular cylinders. Now for the cylinders, we're also going to find the surface area of those cylinders that are closed at both ends, of cylinders that are only closed at one end and open at the other end, and cylinders that are open at both ends. So to make this process easier, we'll provide you with some formulas in order to find the surface area. So for starters, let's take a look at this formula for the rectangular solid. To find this, we need to find the areas of all 6 sides of this solid. And to do that, we would need measurements for our length, our width, and our height. So if you take a look at what we have written here, the surface area of this rectangular solid is found by finding the areas of the 2 sides, the front and the back, the top and the base. So we add all those areas together in order to find our total surface area. So using our measurements here with length, width, and height, we can find our formula in order to find the surface area. So the surface area for a rectangular solid is found by finding 2 times the length times the height. So that's for this side here and the other side on the back. 2 times the height times the width, which is for these ends here, the height times the width. And 2 times the length times the width, which is for our top and our base. So moving on, one of the other formulas that you'll work with is for a sphere. Now we find that by multiplying pi r squared, r represents the radius of this figure, and multiplying that by 4. Now for our cylinders, we have 3 separate formulas with which you'll work with. And so to do this first one, where we have the top and the bottom enclosed, we need to find the area of that circular base. So the area of a circle, pi r squared, and you can see here in this formula we have 2 circle areas. So we have the base, which is pi r squared, and the top, another pi r squared. And so that's why we have this 2 here to multiply times this area. Now the last part of the formula is to find the surface area of the side of this cylinder, and we do that by multiplying 2 times pi times the radius times the height of the figure. It's also important to remember that for right circular cylinders, the sides of our cylinder are perpendicular to the base, and that's why these formulas work. So the other 2 formulas for the cylinders, this one is for when we have a base that's enclosed on one side and then it's open at the top. So you'll notice that the pi r squared here is singular. We don't double it as we did in the previous formula because we only need to find the area of one end. Then we add it to the area of the whole entire side of that cylinder and we get our total surface area. Lastly, we find the surface area of a cylinder that is open on both ends, so we don't need to find the area of that circle at all. We just find the surface area of the entire side, which is 2 times pi times the radius times the height of the figure. So let's work through some examples and see how we can put these formulas to the test. When finding the surface area of a rectangular solid, we use the formula, the surface area is equal to 2 times the length times the height, plus 2 times the height times the width, plus 2 times the length times the width. So we have these measurements here for this solid, where our length is equal to 10 feet, our width is equal to 7 feet, and our height is equal to 7 feet as well. So now that we have our values for length, width, and height, let's plug them into our formula and find our surface area. So let's bring down our S, which represents surface area, and that's equal to 2 times our length, which is 10, times our height, which is 7. Then we need 2 times our height times our width, so that's 2 times 7 times 7. And lastly, we need 2 times the length times the width. So we have 2 times 10 times 7. So now let's just do the math. 2 times 10 times 7 is 140, plus 2 times 7 is 98, plus 2 times 10 times 7 is 140 once more. Okay? And then finding this sum, adding 140 plus 98 plus 140 gives us 378. Now we can't forget to add our units here, and we have feet in our original figure. Since we're finding the surface area, feet times feet gives us square feet. So it's important to remember the correct units when finishing this problem here. So the surface area of this rectangular solid that has a length of 10 feet, a width of 7 feet, and a height of 7 feet, we get 378 square feet for the surface area. So let's move on to right circular cylinders. Okay, let's find the surface area of a right circular cylinder that's closed at both ends. So we use the formula, surface area is equal to 2 times pi times radius squared plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height. So for this example, we have a right circular cylinder closed at both ends that has a radius of 2 feet. This is the radius of the circular base. And then it also has a height of 8 feet. So let's go ahead and write out our known values here. A radius of 2 feet and a height of 8 feet. So we plug these values into our formula to get our surface area. We have S is equal to 2, let's use 3.14 for pi, and then our radius is 2, and we square that value. Then we add to it 2 times pi, we're using again 3.14, times the radius, which is 2, and the height, which is 8. So from here, all we need to do is work our math to get our answer. So 2 times 3.14 times 2 squared is 4. This entire product here comes out to 25.12. We add to that the product of 2 times 3.14 times 2 times 8, which is 100.48. Finding the sum gives us 125.6. Again, we need to remember our units. We have feet again, so feet times feet is feet squared. Those are the units, the correct units for our answer. So the surface area for this right circular cylinder that is closed at both ends, so we use the correct formula for that, that has a radius of 2 feet and a height of 8 feet, gives us a surface area of 125.6 feet squared. Lastly, let's take a look at surface area of a sphere. To find the surface area of a sphere, we use the formula S is equal to 4 times pi times the radius squared. For this example, we have a sphere that has a radius of 2 miles. So let's go ahead and use this value, plug it into our formula, and find our surface area. So we have S is equal to 4 times pi, and we'll use 3.14 for pi. And we multiply this times the radius squared, which is 2 miles. Okay, simplifying this a bit, 4 times 3.14, 2 squared is 4. Doing our math, 4 times 3.14 times 4 gives us a surface area of 50.24. Now again, we need to remember our units. This time we're working with miles, and we have to square those miles for our answer. So the total surface area of this sphere with a radius of 2 miles is 50.24 miles squared. So it's really important when you're working with surface area to remember the correct units and make sure you're using the correct formula to get your answer.